Welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2015 segment. Yes, I'm continuing on. It is not Halloween just yet. And we are on number 33. And for 33, we're going to take a look at the sequel to the 1982 film Midnight with Midnight 2: Sex, Death, and Videotape. That's right, this is from 1993, over a decade later, and we see the director of Midnight return to his roots, if you will. Yes, directed by John Russo, the man who penned Night of the Living Dead. He comes back, and yeah, if you didn't know, he did quite a few little direct-to-video movies. You know, Midnight 2 being two of them, and then he also did Heartstopper, Santa Claus, I'm trying to think. I don't know. There's a few others. On top of the ones that, you know, he also wrote some other stuff as well. But yeah, you know, his big claim to fame is the fact that, you know, he did Night of the Living Dead. He wrote the screenplay. So if you know who that is, then you know who John Russo is. And here he is doing a sequel to a film not many people know in the first place. The film is essentially, it is a direct sequel in a sense. Midnight is about a family and essentially it's they're devil worshippers, I think. Yeah, they're Satanists. And in Midnight 2, we have the sole surviving member of this family, a young man by the name of Abraham Barnes, who is essentially, he's not necessarily continuing on his Satanist ways, but he is, thanks to his upbringing, someone who has found a taste for the killing. Yes, he loves to murder, rampage, kill, mutilate, torture, whatever you want to say. You can pick a word, that's what he likes to do to people. And he also likes to videotape this, thus the videotape portion of the title here. I do believe that the Midnight 2 is the actual real title, but I mean, Sex, Death, and Videotape is kind of what they've slapped it on here. I don't know. I'd have to see if I could track down the original VHS release of it. Yeah, it casts a young gentleman by the name of Matthew Jason Walsh as the Mr. Barnes character, who's had a few other roles. He was actually, believe it or not, he was in Stage Fright. If you know the Stage Fright movie from 1989, he was in it. You won't know him, but anyways, that's not the point. But he was also in Ozone, The Sandman, Zombie Bloodbath 2, Zombiegeddon, and he also apparently did the voices, I did not know this, of the puppets from Curse of the Puppet Master. Now, like you said, he's done a lot of low budget stuff. He's done, writing for a lot of these things. Voodoo Academy, Witch House, a lot of stuff that's come out from Full Moon and such, and worked with It's Tempe, who also essentially, they were the guys behind this. Even though this is a Sub Rosa release, it is a, I believe, a J.R. Bookwalter production. I think he must be a producer on it. I can't remember. But see if I can find. Yeah, he did produce it. And if you know low budget horror, you know the Tempe Productions line. It's been, you know, distributed by various people, including Tempe, Full Moon. I think there's some stuff from I can't remember the name of the company, but then again, SRS. A lot of these low budget distributors and DVD producers and such tend to put out some of his films, and yeah, it's essentially. I'm trying to think. There's also, who else is in this? There was a couple of females. One was a Joe Norsha, who was from Kingdom of the Vampire, Maximum Impact, Chick Boxer. You know, didn't do a lot, but it also has Laurie Scarlett, who, if you've seen the films, and honestly, if you're into bad movies, you should check these out. Killer Nerd and Bride of Killer Nerd. She plays Jenny in those movies. She's also from Ozone, another Bookwalter film, and Townies. Oh yeah, Troma, I think, puts out some of those Tempe videos as well. But yeah, it's honestly, the film is essentially, it's not very good. Honestly, it's not very good. If you liked Midnight and you're expecting more of the same from Midnight 2, don't be. I'd say a quarter of the film is sort of like scenes from Midnight that have been put in to the sequel to act as sort of flashbacks, while the main character of Abraham does voiceover. He's doing voiceover for a good portion of the movie, explaining what's happening, who he is, why he is, what was his past, etc., etc. And eventually just why he is who he is. And then you get to the points where, you know, he describes how he's using his video camera to find his next victim. But at the same time, he's also looking for that special someone. He's looking for a bride. And the way he determines whether a woman will be his bride is he goes to have sex with them, and if he can't get it up at first, then she is not the one, in which case he knows he's going to kill her. That gets him aroused, and then he will have sex with her and kill her. It's some weird logic, but, you know, this is a crazy person, so I'll go with it. So that would be the sex portion of the title, just in case you were wondering when that was going to come into play. So yes, there is a little bit of nudity, not a lot. He doesn't just kill women, he does kill some men. But that being said, the gore is minimal. Very, very, very minimal. It could have been a lot better, considering what's going on here. But essentially, it's just him going around with a video camera, videotaping people, and then luring them back somewhere to be killed, essentially. And the kills, they're kind of lame. So that's Midnight 2. Honestly, that's it. There isn't much more to it. I wish I could say there was, but there isn't. It's only set like 70 minutes long, So it's just over an hour. And like I said, a good quarter of that is scenes from Midnight, the first film. So yeah, honestly, this movie is only for the hardcore of hardcore horror fans. It's shot on video, so yeah, you know, the quality isn't great. You know, sound is mono type thing. It's full frame. The picture isn't great because it's shot on video. And then you get the story, lame. Honestly, I think the nudity is probably the best thing in this movie, because as small as it is, short in terms of duration, it's the only real payoff in this entire movie. That and the scenes from the first Midnight movie. It's funny because when you put those scenes in with this one, it makes that film look amazing, and this film look like snot. Like, oh. So yeah, unless you're, you know, a hardcore collector of those shot on video horror films, or and you don't collect the VHS. Maybe you do collect VHS, but you want it on DVD because, you know, you don't want to play the VHS tapes out. Then yeah, track it down. It's Midnight 2. I mean, some places are selling it for a huge amount. Other places you could probably get it for under $5. It all depends on where you find it, if you find it, if you really want to find it. And honestly, I think you're better off leaving it alone. Yeah. It's not one of those movies I can say it's not for everybody. It's really not for anybody. Yeah. Sometimes people just want to make these movies to you know, to cash in. That's what they're doing. There's no skill behind. Well, there is more skill behind this film than some of the other shot-on-video horror films that I've seen. But at the same time, it's not good. It's not good. It's not worth wasting time and effort and money on, unless, like I said, you're a hardcore. If you are hardcore, then pick it up, give it a watch. Maybe you're into those really, really cheesy, low-budget crap fests that are out there. Hey, this is right up your alley. It's not a so big. No, it's not even close. It's a so bad. It's just bad. And hey, some people like that. If that is your cup of tea, you know, well, look it up. Hey, give Ron over at Sub Rosa a call. Maybe he has some copies left. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, that is Midnight 2, and it for this review on my 31 Days of Horror 2015 segment. There's still likely to be some more to come, so stay tuned. Until next video, take care. Have a good one.